Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's class. Let's have a quick recap of what we had done in yesterday's class. In yesterday's class, we had done something known as work energy theorem. Hmm. What was this work energy theorem? Anyone? Work energy theorem or work kinetic energy theorem? Anyone remembers it? We had solved some questions on the same as well. Work energy or work kinetic energy theorem was work done by all forces is equal to change in kinetic energy. When I talk about change means final kinetic energy minus initial kinetic energy, KEF minus KEI, final kinetic energy minus initial kinetic energy. And we had solved one problem on the same. We have written the work energy theorem in different ways. You can see it on your screen now. Work done by all forces is change in kinetic energy, final minus initial, half mv square minus half mu square, and so on. Different ways in which we had written this. I had given you a problem to solve. Has anyone able is anyone able to solve the problem? Anyone could solve the problem that I had given?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Tell me what are the answers. We had to find out the velocity which this block strikes ground. How did you do it? What are the answers? How
Sir,
many of you have done this? Yes,
under
beta,
root 320 meter per second.
under root 320 meter per second is one answer that I am getting. Okay. Tell me how you have done this first. I had given you some hints. I had given you some steps. Tell me how you have done this. Who is going to tell me? I'm audible and visible to all of you, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, tell me how you have done this.
Sir, I have applied kinetic energy theorem.
Okay, how? So I had given you first step. The first step was find out all the forces. Tell me what are the forces acting on this block.
Sir, mg and normal force.
Very good. So let me draw these forces. This is mg and this is the normal reaction N. Very correct. What is the next step? Next step was to find out work done by all forces. First, I have drawn all the forces. Then I have to find out the work done by all forces. Tell me what is the work done by this normal reaction? What is the work done by normal reaction? Normal reaction is like this. And the block is going to move like this. Normal reaction is like this. Now block is going to move like this. What is the work done by normal reaction? The work done by normal reaction would be 0. Do we understand this? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, work done by normal reaction is 0. Now let us talk about work done by gravity. What is the work done by gravity? Work done by gravity is equal to mass m into g
Into h.
into h. Let us put the value. M is m, g is 10, h is 16. So this becomes 16, 160 m. The work done by gravity becomes 160 m. Now I apply work energy theorem. Work done by all forces is equal to change in kinetic energy. Work done by all forces is 160 m. Let me just move ahead. One work done by all forces is 160 m. That must be equal to change in kinetic energy. Final kinetic energy is half mv square. Initial kinetic energy is half mu square, but we all know that this velocity is zero, so this energy becomes zero. The only thing that is left is half mv square. So basically what I have on the left hand side, or on one side I have half mv square, and on the other side I have 160 m, and that will give me the answer as v square as 320. And as you said, v will be root over 320, and that is absolutely correct. That is absolutely correct. How many of you have understood this? Please raise your hands. Only one? What about the others? Only two, only three, only girls? What about the boys? How many of you were able to do this? Please lower your hands. Abhiram, how many of you were able to do it on your own? No one? Okay, then I'll give you time. I'll give you 2 minutes. Please note it down. If you have any problems, please ask me. Any doubts? You have the mic. Please speak. Have you noted it down, everyone? Shall we move ahead? Okay. Now let me change the problem a bit. So I am going to change the problem. And how I am going to change the problem? In this way, I am going to change the problem. Again, I have an inclined plane. Angle of inclination is 37 degrees. I again have a block of mass m. This is kept at a height of, let us say, same 16 meters. I have not changed this. This block is at rest. Now this block is going to slide down. But here I have a floor which is rough. And the value of mu is 0.1. And the value of mu is 0.1. Once it reaches the lowest point, can you tell me what is the velocity? I have changed the question a bit. In the previous question, I have got mu 0.1. Can you tell me what is the answer now? You have 3 minutes to solve it. If you have any doubts, you can ask. Are you trying the problem or talking with each other? Okay, anyone tell me what will be the steps? So I'll give you the hint. Which are the steps? What are the steps? Step number 1. Who is going to tell me what is step number 1? Speak, beta.
So we need to find the forces acting on.
Very good. We have to find out all forces. Step number 2.
We need to find the work done by all forces.
Very good. Step number 3.
We have to apply the work energy kinetic theorem.
Yes, work kinetic theorem. Have you solved the question? 2 minutes more. So, anyone could do this? I've given you enough time. So, let us find out the forces. First of all, what are the forces acting on this block? What are the forces? Mg, normal reaction. But since
Frictional
this,
force.
yes, just this is rough, so you have to bring in friction. It will slide down. So this friction has to be upwards. Do we understand this? Yes or no? Kinetic friction will be upwards, right? Now, we must know what is the value of kinetic friction. We have done it so many times. So I will not go how we have done this. So this will be equal to mu multiplied by n. N will be mg cos theta. We remember this. Mu is 0.1. So 0.1 multiplied by mg cos theta. So 0.1 multiplied by m into g. G is 10 into cos theta. cos of 37 is 4/5. So it will be equal to 0. If I just cut it, it will be equal to 0.8 m. It will be equal to 0.8 m. That would be the value of, oops, wrong color. That would be the value of your frictional force. One force is frictional force in yellow. The other force is normal reaction in yellow. The other force is mg. I have marked out all the three forces. All are yellow, 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 yellow. We move on to the next step. Are we all agreeing with the step? Do we all get the first step? Note it down. The first step. In the second step, we have to find out the work done by all the forces. How will I get the work done by all forces? First of all, I'll find the work done by normal reaction. Everyone knows that it is equal to 0. So the first part is done, work done by normal reaction. Let us talk about work done by gravity. Work done by gravity is simply equal to mg multiplied by h. We have done it so many times, it will be positive because it is coming down. It will be positive. Let us find out how much is this. M is m, g is 10, h is 16, so it becomes 160 m. This is exactly the same as what we calculated in the first case. Remember, work done by one force does not depend on work done by the other force. So work done by gravity still remains same. Two things are done. Work done by normal reaction is done. Work done by gravity is done. The only thing that now remains, remember this work done is positive. Remember this work done is positive. Don't forget that positive and negative makes a lot of difference in this question. What is the last thing remaining is the work done by friction, and I'll give you 1 minute to think about it. What is the work done by friction? If anyone knows the answer, please tell me. What is the work done by friction? Anyone? Okay, I am not getting any answer, so I will give you my answer. Work done by friction will be equal to work done by friction will be equal to the frictional force Fk multiplied by L. L is the distance it has moved, and it will be negative. Why it will be negative? Because block is moving downwards, displacement is downwards, and frictional force is upwards, so it will be negative. I just need to find out the value of this L. What is the value of this L? This L is nothing but the distance it has moved. This distance is your L. I hope you can see it. It's very big. This distance is your L. And how do I get this distance? This is very simple. You just have to look for this triangle. Look at this triangle. This is H, this is L, and this is 37 degrees. We have done it before also. This is H, samne wala height. This is L, hypotenuse, perpendicular, hypotenuse, and this is 37. So I can write sine of 37 is equal to h by L. I hope you all understand this. Sine of 37 is h by L. So my L becomes, or sine of 37 is 3 by 5. 3 by 5 is h by L. From here, I can calculate the value of L. L will be equal to 5 by 3 into h. H is 16. So this becomes, L becomes 16 into 5 is I think 80. 80 by 3. Do we all understand this? The value of L, how I have calculated it? It is pure math. It has got nothing to do with physics. Am I clear with everyone? Do we understand this? What next is I just move forward. So I put a minus sign. The value of frictional force, as you can all see, Fk is here 0.8 m. So I'll just put the value 0.8 m multiplied by 80 by 3, and that is the work done by friction. Now, since I've just made this problem, that is why the values are not coming very nice, but doesn't matter. I hope you can solve this 0.8 m multiplied by 80. I think it will be equal to 64. So 64 by 3m would be answer in the negative. That would be my work done by friction. Work done by friction would be equal to minus 64 by 3m. So far, so good. Can I have some raise hand that we understand this? The last thing which I would do here in this small block, last thing that we'll do in this small block will be to apply work energy theorem. What is the work energy theorem? Work done by all forces should be equal to change in kinetic energy. I will just put the values. Work done by all forces. One force is gravity 160 m plus 160 m minus 64 by 3m. This is the work done. That must be equal to change in kinetic energy. Final kinetic energy is half mv square. Initial kinetic energy is half mu square. But we all know that this term is 0. So this will become 0. M will get cancelled. And you can get the value of V from here. Can anyone tell me what is the value of V that you are getting from here? I hope all of you have noted it down. Anyone with any doubt, please raise your hands. What we have done, I'll again repeat. First step, find out all the forces. Second step, find the work done by all forces. Third step, apply work energy theorem. Three forces acting here, three forces. Normal reaction, gravity, friction. Value of n is mg cos theta. Work done is 0. Don't worry. Value of gravity is Value of gravity. Value of gravity is mg. Work done by gravity is mgh plus mgh. That becomes plus 160 m. To find out the work done by frictional force, I first find the value of frictional force, mu mg cos theta. That comes to be 0.8 m. Then I find out the length of this path. The length of this path is formed by the right angle triangle. It is 80 by 3. Work done by friction. Friction is upwards, motion is downwards. It is minus 64 by 3m. I add up all those work. One is positive work, one is negative work. That must be equal to change in kinetic energy. Half mv square minus half mv square. U is 0, and we are done with the question. Am I clear? Do I have some reason that we understand this? Anyone has any doubts? You can raise your hands. Because now the next question is what you are supposed to do it. And if you can do this question, this is probably the most difficult question that can come in this chapter for you. Even this question may not come. So this is just too tough. Anyway, but we will be doing it so that if it comes, you have an edge over other students who probably would not have done a similar question. That takes me to a different version of the same question, and I'll make this version in two different ways. So I'll just make one diagram and then I'll put in two questions. So the diagram is like this. As you can see, I have not changed much. This is 37 degrees. 37 degrees given because I don't want you to get into complicated calculations. So this is 37-degree inclined plane. As you can see, this is very high. I have a block here. So I've changed the scenario a bit. I have a block here, which I'm going to push up. This block is pushed up. This block is pushed up with a velocity v. Now, I'm not giving the value of this velocity. If I give the value of this velocity, you can find out the answer in terms of numerical value. I'm not giving it in terms of numerical value. I'm just giving it in terms of v so that you get a general answer. So I have pushed this block up with a velocity v. Now, let us say that there is no friction. In first case number 1, there is no friction. Case number 1, no friction. So I have made two cases here, two questions. Case number 2, friction is, the coefficient of friction is mu. So there are two cases in which you have to solve this question. But what is the question? So I have pushed it up with a velocity v. What will happen? I have pushed it up with a velocity v. Friction or no friction? I have pushed it up with a velocity v. Friction or no friction? It will come up to certain height and then it will move down. Yes or no? If I push it up with a velocity v, friction or no friction, it will rise to certain height, stop there for a moment, and then probably fall down. Yes or no? You have to tell me up till what height does it rise. If this is the height that it rises, what is the value of this height up till which it rises? You have to solve the question in two different cases. First case is that there is no friction. That is the first question that you will solve. Once you are done with that question, you will solve it. We will solve it for the next case where friction also comes into the picture. The time starts now. Anyone could solve this question? Let me call this as point A. Let me call this as point B. I have to find the value of this height h up till which this block rises. Will rise to certain height, then probably it will fall down. What will be the velocity at this point? The highest point up to which the block goes up. What will be the velocity at the highest point? Can anyone tell me? What will be the velocity till the highest point? The velocity here would be 0. Yes or no? When it reaches the highest point, it will not go any further. So the velocity at the highest point has to be equal to 0. That is one thing that you must know. Let us solve it for the first part. No friction. There is no friction. So what I need to do? I need to find out. Steps are same. Let me write the steps here. Whether it is part 1 or part 2 or part 3, steps are same. First step is find out all forces. Step number 2, find the work done by all forces. Step number 3, apply WET, that is work energy theorem. Let us first find out the forces in the first case. Forces are normal reaction and gravity. In first case, what is the work done by normal reaction? Anyone can tell me what will be the work done by normal reaction in the first case? Online class, offline class, Abhiram, and the rest. What is the work done by a normal reaction in the first case? Normal reaction, whenever it is always upwards, perpendicular to the plane, and this block is going to move like this. So in any case, whether it is moving up, whether it is moving down, whether it is moving on horizontal floor, whether it is moving on an inclined floor, the work done by normal reaction will always be 0. We understand this, yes or no? We understand this, yes or no? Okay. The second force is then gravity. What is the work done by gravity? The work done by gravity would be equal to, will it be positive, will it be negative? So for that, we see whether the block is moving up or whether the block is moving down. In this case, block is moving up, so it is negative minus mg into the height h. So these are the two forces, and these are the work done by the two forces. The third step would now be to find out or to apply work energy theorem. So we'll apply work energy theorem. First of all, let me write it. Work done by all forces should be equal to change in kinetic energy. What is the work done by all forces? What is the work done by all forces? The work done by all forces is minus mgh. That must be equal to change in kinetic energy. It is final energy minus initial energy. Here, the final energy is half m into 0 square because the final velocity is 0 minus initial kinetic energy is half mv square. Do we understand why I put 0 here? Because the final velocity is 0. Do we understand this? This gets cancelled. This is already 0. M say M getting cancelled. Minus say minus getting cancelled. And my final answer is V is under root of 2GH. And that is the answer in case number 1. V is under root of 2GH. Anyone got this answer? No one got this answer? I'll give you 2 minutes to please note down the question. If you have any doubts, please ask. If you have noted this down, then I would suggest that you move on to the next set of the problem. The next problem is what happens when mu comes into the picture? When friction is also there, what is the answer in that case? You have 2 minutes to solve that problem. 2 minutes. Let's see who does it. Well, I hope you have tried the problem. Let us move on to how we'll do this one. What happens when mu comes into the picture? What is the answer when mu comes into the picture? Now, when mu comes into the picture, that means the floor or the inclined plane has become rough. Now, if it has become rough, one more force will come, and that would be kinetic friction, and that kinetic friction will be opposite to relative motion, and it will be downwards since the block is moving upwards. So far, so good. In that case, one more force will increase. This force, normal reaction will be there, but the work done will be 0, doesn't change. This force, gravity will also be there, and the work done still remains same, doesn't change. The only thing that gets added up is the work done by friction. To find out the work done by friction, I have to find out the value of this friction force. How do I get the value of this friction force? This is nothing but equal to mu into n. N is always mg cos theta in this case. So it will be equal to mu into mg into cos theta. Cos of 37 is 4 by 5. So this frictional force simply becomes 4 by 5 mu mg. We all understand this? Can I have some raised hand that we understand this, sir? We have calculated the value of frictional force mu mg cos theta 4 by 5 mu mg. Well done. Then the last thing remains is finding out the work done by this. We have already done that. To find out the work done by frictional force, I will have to look for the path. To look for the path, I will have to find out the length of this one. How much is this? L. How much is this L? And how would I get the value of this L? We have done it so many times. This is H. This is L. This is 37. Sine of 37 is L, H by L. So L becomes H divided by sine of 37. So it will become, L will become 5 by 3H. Do we all understand this? L will become 5 by 3H. The only thing now remains is to to find out the value of work done by frictional force. That is what I'm going to do now. That is the only extra thing that we have to do in question number 2. So in question number 2, what is the work done by friction? It has to be negative, so I write negative. What is the value of frictional force? We have calculated it. We have calculated there. It was 4 by 5 mu mg. 4 by 5 mu mg. That has to be multiplied by the length of the path, which as you can see is 5 by 3h. 5 से 5 gets cancelled. It becomes minus 4 by 3 mu mgh. Minus 4 by 3 mu mgh. Now I can move on. And write the final steps. And the final steps would be to write the work energy theorem in this case. Work done by all forces is equal to delta KE. Here the forces are number 1, normal reaction, let us forget. 1 is minus mgh, which is the work done by gravity, minus 4 by 3 mu mgh. That must be equal to final kinetic energy 0 minus half mv squared. Something will get cancelled. Will get cancelled. Minus sign will get cancelled. And you will get the value of h. We have to get the value of h. Or the value of v, whatever happens. You can get, here we calculated the value of v. You can write h as v square by 2g. In the first case, answer was this. In this case, you can easily find out the value of h. I will leave that task for you. If I had given you the values, you could have calculated the value of h from the above equation. If anyone has any doubts, ask, else we will move forward. I hope all of you have done this. That takes us to the next part, which is a very simple thing that you must remember. Relation between kinetic energy and linear momentum. You have to note this down. What is the relation between kinetic energy and momentum? Kinetic energy, as you all know, is half mv square. Momentum is p, and you all know it is m into v. From here, we can find out a relation between p and kinetic energy. What is that relation? It is very simple, and you can remember it like this. The easiest way to remember it is E, which is kinetic energy, is P square by 2m. This is one way of remembering it. Or you can remember it in this way. Momentum P is 2E by V, or it is equal to under root of 2me. So this relation or this relation, you must note it down. These are very important relations, especially for your NEET exam. So please note that down. The heading, relation between kinetic energy and momentum. Kinetic energy is half mv square, momentum is mv. Note down the relation. You have 2 minutes to do it. I hope you have noted this down. If you have noted this down, this is what you need to draw. It is already there in your notes. But you must draw these graphs in your copy as well, because these are the graphs that can come in your NEET exam straight away. You can score 4 marks. Various graphs of kinetic energy. Here they have plotted energy, kinetic energy as E, and velocity as V. As you can see, the graph is like a parabolic graph. It's a parabolic graph. Energy, kinetic energy is directly proportional to V squared. Kinetic energy is always positive because it is half mv squared. So this is how the graph looks like for the kinetic energy. Here they have given velocity as negative. When they say velocity negative, they are probably referring to the direction of velocity. So this is the graph. Graph number 1 is the graph between energy, kinetic energy, and velocity v. The velocity is also plotted along negative x-axis because they've thought of it as directional velocity. Negative means the opposite direction. If this graph comes in the exam, the negative part may not be there. This part may not be there because they will draw the graph between speed and energy. So the graph will simply look like this. Do we understand this? The negative part will not be there probably, because even if they are drawing it for the negative part, velocity is also never negative. Negative velocity only refers to the direction. So the negative part is irrelevant here. The only part that you must understand is the positive part, which is this one. Do we understand this? You will have to draw this. Similarly, they have drawn energy with momentum. Again, energy is directly proportional to p square. The left hand side wala graph again does not matter because momentum is a vector quantity. They have thought of it as a negative quantity as well in terms of direction. If the graph comes, the negative graph should not come. It's only the positive graph. Here it should be E on the y-axis and momentum P On the x-axis, wrongly it was written as V, misprint. Then this was the second graph. The third graph is between energy and mass. Energy is inversely proportional to mass if momentum is constant. Energy is plotted on y-axis, mass is plotted on the x-axis, and this becomes something like a what we call in maths a rectangular hyperbola. Rectangular hyperbola. Then the last graph is between momentum and root of energy. If it is root of energy, then it's the straight line. You can plot energy or root over energy on one axis and momentum on the other axis. Normally what they do in NEET, they will not give you a straight graph between E and P. They will give you a graph like between root over E and P. Don't forget that energy is proportional to P square. So if you take root over E, it becomes a straight line graph. So these are the four graphs that you must never forget. Between kinetic energy and speed or velocity, between kinetic energy and momentum, magnitudes we are talking about here, between energy and mass, between root of energy and momentum. So this is the class for today. What we have discussed in today's class, we have discussed the work energy theorem. We have solved some problems, some good problems. We have seen the relation between kinetic energy and momentum. We have also seen the graph. All of this is very, very important for your NEET exam because straightforward questions will come from here. The probability is almost 1. You will get a question from here. So please note this down. And if you have any doubts, please come up to me. Else the class is over from my end. I hope you love this class and you will be asking your doubts if there are any. Take care. The class is dismissed.